So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the Blub World Web Talks 250th episode. In the last 249 episodes, we have talked to, interacted with more than 4,000 school leaders on this very platform, where they've shared their ideas, opinions, and innovations in the space of education. तो नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है ब्लब वर्ल्ड वेब टॉक्स के 250वें एपिसोड में। पिछले 249 एपिसोड्स में हमने करीबन 4,000 से ज्यादा शिक्षाविदों से बातचीत की और ये जानने की कोशिश की कि वो शिक्षा को कैसे बदल रहे हैं और शिक्षा उन्हें कैसे बदल रही है. Since today is a global session with teenagers from multiple countries, we'll try to stick to English only in this episode, and I hope you enjoyed that as well. The conversation today is around a topic which gave us a lot of what I can say surprising, a lot of agitated, a lot different kind of responses from the people when he sent out to them, because a lot of them thought that, are we trying to corrupt the minds of teenagers? Are we messing around with them? What are we really trying to achieve with this topic? So we'll try to know from teens themselves that what do they really think about this topic. So before we start, let me tell you what exactly are we going to talk about in the next 30 to 40 minutes that you're here with us in the Blub World Web Talks. So we asked teenagers a very simple question, that would you drop out of school for $1 million? So think of a situation before we start listening to the audience, that I am ready to offer you a bag full of $1 million, but you can only get it if you quit your school. So what are the thoughts of teens on this? Let's listen to them. Let me invite them one by one to share their thoughts on this topic, that what would they do if they had the choice? You can attend school or you can take this $1 million. What do they think will impact their lives more? What do they think will improve things or deprove things? What are their thoughts on this? Let's try to listen to them. Let me invite the first speaker for today. Remember, only 59 seconds. So it's similar to a minute to win it. So once again, a very warm welcome to all of you to the Blub World Web Talks 250th episode. Let me invite the first speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Miss Sharon Natalie, who's a grade 12 student from St. Thomas Catholic International College, Western Province, Sri Lanka. Sharon, over to you for the next 59 seconds. What do you want? You want the school or $1 million? Over to you.
First of all, thank you to Blub World for having me as a speaker at the 250th episode of the Blub World Web Talks. So different people, based their experiences, might approach this question in different ways. So when it comes to me, when I saw the question first, I approached this question in a very traditional way, because I've been growing up saying that if I study hard, then I'll be able to, get into a good profession. So the good profession that I'm talking about right now, when I was small, I thought that the only two professions in the world were either to become a teacher or either to become a doctor. So then, when you get into a good profession, then I can earn a lot of money. So that's the mindset I had.
So the next speaker is Mr. Aizam Rasool, who's a grade 7 student from Radiant Public School, Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Aizam, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
Greetings, everyone. So my answer to the question is definitely yes. I will drop out from school for $1 million. I mean, who wouldn't? Before you judge me, hear me out. School is great if you want to memorize facts for the test you will never use in your life. But in my opinion, $1 million for me is a great, great, great opportunity. While Sharma ji ka beta is out there getting his IIT degree, I'll be sipping some coconut water on my private island, flipping that millions into billions. But some people at this point will knock the door and say, Aizam, school teaches you morals, school teaches you ethics and values. I'm sure, yes, I support their statement that school does teach us ethics, morals, and values, but that ethics aren't going to pay my bills tomorrow. That morals aren't going to turn that million into a fortune. No, the world doesn't care about your good intentions until and unless you're selling them at the market. Uno reverse. I'll take the million, build my empire, and then go on a vacation in my private jet while Sharma ji ka beta is still stuck in traffic on his way to college for first lecture on how to make your parents proud.
So what Aizam is trying to say, India has a very, colloquial way of being sarcastic with students. When we say that, my neighbor is somebody called Mr. Sharma, and parents normally compare you with their neighbor's son. So he's trying to make similes on that note that yes, when somebody compares, let it be. I want to take the million US dollars because I'll be able to do a lot of things with that $1 million. With school, I might not be able to do that much. Thank you so much, Aizam. The next invitee is Miss Kamya Jaglan, who's a grade 9 student from Ryan International School, Gurgaon, Haryana, India. Kamya, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
Okay, sir. $1 million today. No exam, just freedom. But you lose your degree. Would you take it? Let's unpack this Gen Z dilemma. Let's get real. $1 million sound like the cheat code for life. You could not just start up, travel, and invest. Sir Zuckerberg dropped out, right? But education is a toolkit for critical thinking, networking, and resilience. A skill no app can replace. Now flip the script. What if that million is your education? Fund a project, take online courses, build a brand. But ask yourself, without the discipline of the school, would you multiply that money or blow it on TikTok trends? Start shows 90% of the startup fails. Meanwhile, degree holders earn 84% more over a lifetime. But we Gen Zs, we are the hustlers, coding at 15 and selling art on Etsy. School is a safety net, not a cage. So would I drop out? Not unless I have a vision bigger than the classroom. Because money can't dream, but you can. So stop asking money versus school rather than just ask, what's your unbeatable idea? Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Kamya. I think a very important thought that do I have something that can make that $1 million into $1 billion? If you have that idea, if you have some experimentation ready or in place, that's your place to be. You can quit school and opt for that $1 million. If you don't, then stay in school. Enjoy the pace. There might be a time that you might make $1 million yourself. So thank you so much, Kamya. The next invitee is Miss Aashi Gupta, who's a grade 9 student from Chinmaya Vidyalaya, Vadusala, Ernakulam, Kerala, India. Aashi, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
Thank you so much. So, would I drop out of school for $1 million? Absolutely not. Here's why. Money can buy comfort, but education builds a future. $1 million might sound life changing, but in today's world, it is not enough to sustain a lifetime. Without education, that money would eventually run out, leaving me with no foundation to earn more. School just isn't about textbooks. It teaches discipline, problem solving, and networking. It prepares me for opportunities that go way beyond one time payout. And let's be real, one wrong move, one risky investment, and one risky gamble could wipe out that money in no time. Without knowledge and skills, there's no way to rebuild it. Now, if someone offers me $1 million and a chance to learn, grow, and innovate on my own terms, then we are talking. But drop out? That's like choosing a shortcut with a dead end. So, no, I wouldn't trade my long term success for my short term wealth. Instead, I use education to create wealth that lasts. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashi. You won't leave school, you would put in the effort and you would make it great in life. Absolutely. One more thought for people to think about, because you have to really think of the purpose why you need a school. Is it for success or is it for survival? This is also a question that should be thought while we say that do we want the $1 million or we want the school. Let's invite the next speaker for today. A very warm welcome to Hania Hatata, who's a grade 9 student from Antoniadis International School, Alexandria, Egypt. Hania, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
When I first saw this question, I was shocked because I thought about it. I thought I would be wasting the time I spent in school, and spending $1 million was like mindless. But then I learned it was all about values. If you value education, you will spend this money on investing and like starting a business rather than just spending it on like some vacation. With $1 million, I wouldn't be just throwing away my education. I would rather be upgrading it. With $1 million, I would learn from the people who started business, like Steve Jobs. Instead of learning from outdated textbooks, I would learn from the real world based on experience.
Thank you, Hani. And you're very right when you say it's based on values, that when you get the $1 million, what kind of people do you meet? What kind of a community do you build? Are you really going to the real successful people in life? Not learning from the textbooks and trying to learn from individuals. That's again a very nice thought to look into. Thank you so much, Hania. The next speaker is Miss Samreena Jan, who's a grade 7 student from Radiant Public School, Anantnag, Jammu and Kashmir, India. Samreena, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
So, hello everyone. So, my answer to the question that would you drop out of the school for $1 million? So, no, I would not. Why? Because $1 million is such a huge amount, and with that amount, I can literally start a business of my own. If you talk about school, so they give you education, but not really knowledge. Gaining knowledge is up to you. For starting a business, what you really need is a business mindset and knowledge and expertise. Expertise, I can get it from my parents, but business mindset, I really think I have got that. So for starting a business, if I utilize that money properly, $1 million, then it's worth to drop out of the school. But if I just waste on some things, it's not worth to drop out. Now there is a stereotype that school dropouts, they cannot become successful people. Let me give you example of Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Gautam Adani. They were also school dropouts, but they became billionaires. Why? Because they were able to risk it all, and they really wanted to just grow in business. They don't want to live that just little life with that income of 30,000. No, we don't want that. We want to become millionaires. We want to be billionaires. And with that money, I can, if my business becomes really successful, I can establish 100 schools like that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Samreena. So, a very important point that you made, that there are a lot of success stories of millionaires and billionaires across the globe who have been dropouts. And you're very right. When you really want to make so much of money, you will have to risk it all at some point of time. And the point with which you concluded is very right, that if I have that kind of money, I'll open 100 schools. And I think that's what Mr. Adani is doing right now in India. He's partnered with GEMS Education, and he's opening 20 schools in the next 2 or 3 years. Is investing 2,000 crores in opening these schools in India. So thank you so much, Samreena. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Miss Meher Kaur, who's a grade 8 student from the Lakewood School, Ludhiana, Punjab. Meher, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
I think it really depends. If I'm allowed to join other extracurricular activities which will help me gain my education and knowledge more on how to invest and make that money grow, I think I would. But if I'm not allowed to, then I would stay in school and learn how to grow money and earn it myself. Because if you have $1 million and don't know what to do with it, how to spend it properly, or even make it grow, there is no point in even taking the $1 million. It will be out before you know it due to inflation and so many taxes. So what's the point? I truly believe that this would be useless if you don't have the education to make it grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Meher. So we have listened to all the teen speakers for today. Let's listen to an adult, that what do they have to say, that if, when they look back at life, if they were a teenager, what would they opt for? The $1 million or the school education? A very warm welcome to Dr. Santosh Mahajan, who's the head of admissions and promotion for DY Patil Vidyapeeth, Pune, Maharashtra. Santoshji, over to you for the next 59 seconds.
Well, I heard students speaking from both the sides. But if I get a chance now, probably I will not drop out from school. That's because I firmly believe earning money is one part of life, but schools teaches something beyond that. It teaches you about team building. It teaches you about bonding. It teaches you about ethics. It teaches about culture, civilization, and many more things which probably money cannot buy. Gaining experience, going to school, will certainly help you. And money, no doubt, is important, but there is life beyond that, my dear friends. So school gives you all these things, which is probably beyond money. And if you get a good education, probably you can multiply. Why stop at 1 million? You can earn much more than what today we are offering you. So my request or my suggestion to all students would be, let's stay at school. Let's try to learn. Because learning beyond books, that is more important for me, which school gives you. So let's stick to the school. That would be my elderly advice to all the kids today.
Thank you so much, Santosh sir. So you should stick to school if you really want to make it big in life. $1 million could vanish in a day or two. So I think there are some teens who want to speak next. So now we have completed the first round. In the second round, if you have any wild thoughts, if you have any thought at all that you want to share, you can just raise your hand and I'll invite you for the next 59 seconds. So Aizam, over to you for the next 59 seconds. Aizam Rasool.
If school alone made you rich, then the smartest kid in our class would be running the world right now. Instead, he's still solving trigonometry, algebra, linear equation, differentiation, integration, while the billionaires right now in the world are solving the real problem, that how to get richer than your parent. And here is the raw truth about life, that if life was fair, every hardworking person in the world would be billionaire right now. But that's not. It rewards those who take risk, not those who wait for the permission. So I'll make my moves while others are waiting for the bell to ring. So before I conclude my speech, there was no harm to Sharma ji ka beta morals and ethics in school. It was just my opinion. But the one who is opposing me, I'm having a question to him or her, that will your A+ grade ever buy you a private island? Think about it.
Will your grades buy you a private island? Let's try to know from others what do they think. Soumya, over to you. Soumya Narang, please unmute yourself for the next 15 seconds.
Yes. Hi, my name is Soumya Narang. If I would have given $1 million, yes, I would take it and I would leave school. But not because I don't value education, rather because I believe learning isn't limited to classrooms. With $1 million, I would just sit back and enjoy life. I'd invest in real life learning, like skill building and experiences that truly shape success. Schools provide a foundation, but success isn't just about memorizing facts. It's about applying knowledge. Instead of spending years in the system that teaches everyone the same way, I can create my own path. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You surely value school, but you think you'll be able to make it far bigger with the million US dollars. So, Devansh Kumar, over to you for the next 59 seconds. What are your thoughts? What do you need? $1 million or you need the school?
Well, sir, $1 million sounds like a lot, but what you do with it, that matters. I would invest it in Lockheed Martin and Boeing both. This way, I will be able to grow it more because school doesn't teach us financial education. It teaches us how to work for money, but not how to make money work for you. This is not just a spitballed opinion. It is said by Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Devansh. And you're right. How do you invest it? And I think that set of knowledge is something that is becoming even more critical in the world. Hania, over to you. What's your thought? What did you miss? What's new that you want to add? That what do you need? $1 million or the school?
I just want to say that I want to win the $1 million because education right now is not limited. It's not like limited. The new university is the internet. And I would rather start investing at like 15 than receiving the diploma at 22 and probably end up with a student debt and working in some office.
A very important point that if you get the $1 million, you might not get into the tap of student debt, which you might work out your whole life for just to repay that. Kamya, over to you on for your thoughts.
Okay, sir. So, in my opinion, if you would have asked this question few years back, then people would have definitely chooses education. But in today's world, people will definitely choose $1 million. Why? Because there are various reasons. Now, just tell me, why do a person need education so that he or she can secure his or her future so that he can earn and live his life nicely. So now you could see, like, if a person is having high level of education, still he is unemployed. So what's his fault in it? He is well educated, yet he is unemployed. Why? And now you have noticed, like, India is the biggest in the number of startup which has been occurring. Everyone, most in the four in the one, is having a business startup, but what they are lacking is the fund so that they can put their ideas in front of the world. So definitely, if you would have given the opportunity, so that like, come on, you have a $1 billion, so you'll definitely bring your ideas in front of world, and who knows, you maybe succeed. It's better to take risk in this world. It does nothing cost free. You have to take risk, and yes, that's all. Thank you.
Yes, the world rewards the risk takers that we all know. And I think the ecosystem has been evoluting in that way where people now value money far more than anything else. And I think one of the biggest reason behind that is education is now available everywhere. It's available on your fingertips, on YouTube, on everywhere. So now do you need an institution for that? Let's try to explore further what other teams have to say. Yes, Aashi Gupta, anything that you want to add to this, the $1 million or the school?
So actually, I would just like to answer Aizam, if I'm allowed to the question that he asked. Yeah. So he said that grades wouldn't help you to score to earn more than $1 million. But my point is, you can finish that $1 million in one go. Now he said that he'll invest, but then what if that investment turns out to be bad? He loses the $1 million. But with education, you have the foundation to go out and invest more or risk it more. If you just have $1 million and no education, you cannot go further if those $1 million are gone. So no, grades cannot help you to earn, but the values you learn while getting those grades can help you earn. Thank you.
Okay, so you basically say education will give you the etiquettes to handle that money better. But yes, Santoshji wants to add something. I think it's good to take an adult opinion again in the middle. Yes, Santoshji, please unmute yourself.
Quick add before we proceed further. Someone just quoted that Mr. X, who is a billionaire now, is opening some schools in all that. If he's a school dropout and if he doesn't believe in school system, why is he opening these mini schools and investing this kind of money? Because I believe he also believes in school system. So I request all the students to just give a thought and then we can proceed further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Santoshji. We're trying to take the freewheeling opinion of what the teens really think. So, but you're very right that when somebody invests that money in schooling or school education or building schools, they themselves surely believe in this ecosystem of schools. Yes, Aizam, over to you for the next 59 seconds. What do you want to add?
So I will choose $1 billion, but I will never leave the school because school is something where we can get education from, where we can get the discipline. Because in schools we know how, they teach us the discipline, they teach us the ethics and other things. So I will never leave the school. Yeah, I will choose $1 billion because I can make my life better and as well as others. Thank you so much.
Great. You'll choose $1 million and you'll still choose the school. But the problem is the deal only comes one way. You only get the $1 million if you opt out of school. Otherwise, you don't get it. Okay. So let Shafa Qureshi, what's it that you want to add to the topic? You want $1 million or you want the school?
But in my opinion, I will choose school because, in my opinion, school education is very important. Money can vanish in 1 or 2 days. We can use it, but by education, we will learn morals, ethics, values, and many things. I can earn more money, more than 1 million, when I grow up.
Thank you so much. So let's now move to the next part of the discussion. We try to know from all the students that what do they think that if they had an option to get $1 million for leaving school, if they quit school, they get $1 million US. Now let me evolve this question to the next level, or rather create a corollary around it. Think of a world where there were no schools and you were all given $1 million to experiment. How would that world look like? Any thoughts on this? I think let's take an opinion from Santoshji that if there were no schools, what do you think if everyone had $1 million to experiment with? Don't you can also take the economics part of it or whichever way you want to look at it, but think of a world where there are no schools and just $1 million to experiment. Will it make more successful people?
No, I don't think so. If there are no schools and even if everyone or most of us have 1 million and we don't know how to invest or spend money, I don't think it will be a great idea. There has to be school. Even if we have 1 million or 2 billion million US dollars, I cannot think of an ecosystem wherein there are no schools and we have millions and millions of dollars with us. So schools will remain, school will have its importance. I cannot think of an ecosystem with no schools because we always require some guidance, we require some kind of coaching, we require mentoring, not bookish knowledge, but there is life beyond that, as I said earlier, which comes from a mentor, which comes from a teacher, which comes from a guide. And there has to be some formal ecosystem which add value to our life.
Absolutely. So we would need something to give us the right kind of direction. Only money will make things far more difficult because you won't have a direction, you won't have a sense of understanding and responsibility around it. Let's try to listen from other teenagers that what are their thoughts. Yes, Meher, you want to add something to this, that if there were no schools and everyone had $1 million, how would the world look like?
Yeah, so I was going to say that if there are no schools, how would we know the value of $1 million, first of all? Second of all, how would we also know how to count or use any sort of science or math to even experiment with anything? We would not even know how to talk if there was no schools. So, what is the point of $1 million if there are no schools when we don't know the value of the money, how to talk, or how to do anything? We'd just be animals roaming around.
Superb. I think you put the right context to it that we'll typically become a wilderness with a lot of money. Then what do so many people do with so much of money when they don't have direction to it? So now let's flip the question a little bit. Let's change roles to make the conversation even more interesting. Think of yourself as a parent and your child gets this offer. Will you let them quit school? What are your thoughts on this? That if you are the parent and you have a child who got this offer that they get $1 million if they quit school, will you let them quit school? Yes, Kamya Jaglan, what's your thought on it? If you were the parent, would you let them take the US dollars or would you want them to stay in school?
So like it basically depend on two factors. First of all, what is like environment around him or whatever my child environment is. Basically, if it's their world, like basically here also, if we are having an education, still a person is involved in many scams, like need scams and everything. So basically, education is not gonna make you. But yeah, if he or she wants that, yes, they want to take risks. Of course, I'll allow them. I'll teach them the basic etiquettes and all the knowledge because I'm already educated enough to teach them to teach my child, yes, they want, and I just let them take risks because it's always good to explore the world and take risks so that in that contest only you will learn more and you'll grow more. That's it. Thank you.
I would suggest everyone answering this question, go and talk to your parent today that, if this is an offer, what would you let me do or what would you not let me do with it? Because it's superbly easy to opinionate as a parent and to opinionate when you are a parent. It's superbly scary for a parent to give an opinion on this. Rather, this question itself is superbly scary. So let's know from more teenagers, what do they think? Sharon, what's it that you want to add to the conversation?
First of all, I don't think I'll allow my child to leave school and then to start investing in a profitable business because with the world around, as you can see in this generation, even in this generation, the generation is already spoiled. So when it comes to my children, then they might get influenced by the influences around, by the bad friends they have. So if they don't go to school, then they don't learn about these social skills, and it won't protect them from the bad world because we might fantasize about the world, but that's not the reality. So I think I would not allow my child to do that.
Okay, you are going to be the conservative parent. No, be in school, complete your courses, complete your syllabus, and then we'll think that we can take this US dollars or not. Navya Sagaram, you joined in late. What are your thoughts on this? You want $1 million or you want to go to school? What are your thoughts on it? And if you are a parent, would you let your child choose?
Good day, everyone. I'm Navya Sagaram from Indian Language School, currently studying in grade 9. So, my thoughts, like the $1 million question is, would I drop school for $1 million? Now, I have not yet reached the legal stage of utilizing the $1 million, but my answer is yes, I would. Now, before you rebel and tell me that I'm wrong, let me share my viewpoints. So, the condition for me having $1 million was that I would drop out of school. It never stated that I could not be homeschooled. So I will opt for the method of homeschooling myself. I will learn from my friends, my parents, my teachers, the world around me. And with the $1 million, I definitely can tour the world. And learning does not always happen in school. It does not only take place in school, it takes place at home, wherever you go for a fraction of a second. Even if you leave your compound, you learn about the environment around you. So, yes, I would take it. I would, for now, till I reach 18 years old, I would keep it in a fixed deposit, which will get me a huge sum of return. And once I turn 18, I will start investing. And since I already have the money, I will try to be a young entrepreneur.
I think Navya found the loophole. You're very right when you say it said that you have to quit school. It never said you can't homeschool yourself. You can't get tutored. So I think a very good choice that I'll keep the $1 million. I'll quit the formal school, but I'll, keep homeschooling myself. So Hania wants to add something. Hania, over to you. What is it that you want to add to the conversation?
If I was a parent, I wouldn't be the parent telling my child to be a doctor or a CEO of a company, but I would be hesitant. But after looking at the opportunity, I would let them be the entrepreneur they are. I wouldn't put them down, but rather be supportive. Thank you.
You'd rather try to be more supportive of their choices. Yes, Samreena Jan, you want to add something to the conversation?
So yes, sir. So if I was a parent, so I will just let them choose what they want. But I would not really want them to just, if they have $1 million, I would let them choose the $1 million. Why? Because I want to add one more point that nowadays the schools, they have made education and business. Out of 100 schools, 90 schools, they just do it for business purposes, and only 10 schools would be that want students to be knowledgeable and get that thing. And one more thing is that I can really just teach them at home and give them basic manners, and I will just let them spend the money properly in a proper manner, utilize that money, not just go away and waste it or some and gamble and stuff. I want them to just use it properly. Like how, if they want to start a business, I would like them to spend 30% in starting the business, 30% to keep in the stock market, 20% for save them for future use, another 20 and 10% I would like for marketing purposes and saving for the business. So I would like just to go for that way. I want them to become successful more than me. So I think that's a better choice. Thank you.
I think it's becoming a discussion, less towards the challenge and more towards financial management and financial literacy. So let's take it in this direction that all of you who are here, And if you, all chose that, okay, we take the $1 million, how do you think, or what do you think will be the best utilization of that money? What are your ideas on it? Would you want to put it into a fixed deposit and then take it out? Would you want to put it into a start? Would you want to put it in shares? What are your ideas? Let's try, this will give us a more sense about the teen understanding of money. How do they really look at it? Yes, Meher, what's your idea? How will you use the money, and what's the best utilization for the $1 million that you might have?
Okay, so I would originally say that I would not invest in stock markets because stock markets go up and down. You could easily lose the money in both companies as well. I would invest in gold or property because land is a thing that is decreasing where the population is increasing. So its value will always go up. So will gold because gold is also decreasing in the world. Uh, like when people moved from Pakistan to India or India to Pakistan during the partition, many people used to carry gold in belts, and that's how they survived because that was the main reason.
You're very right when you say that gold has been an asset which has proved its value over the years, over the decades, because that has been an investment where it has grown. But yes, it's superbly volatile, and we cannot have a gold economy. We'll have to stick to currency because there is not so much of gold on the face of the earth that we can transact in metal. We can transact in metal value though. I think Kamya wants to add something. Kamya, next 59 seconds are yours.
Sure. So how would I like to basically invest it? So basically it would be too risky to invest everything in one thing. And so I want to answer your question as you asked, why don't top businessmen like rather than invest their whole money on stock market, they don't invest because there is high risk in it. One day you are a billionaire, next day you don't know, maybe you could be a bankrupt. So how would I invest it? Like there are two options rather than just splitting the money and investing in a different thing like gold and land as one of the speaker also mentioned it, and another is also like funding or basically investing in the innovations of the young minds or innovations of the Gen Z's or whatever you want to say, and like basically investing in the renewable energy and sustainable projects. As you know, it will have a higher values in the future.
Thank you so much, Kamya. And I think this typically, makes a big contradiction. You want to invest in the talent of the young people, but most of the young people would have opted for money. They would have not gone to schools. Would you really have talented people? That's a question that comes at play. So I think, Sharon, you want to add something to the conversation?
So first of all, I think I would agree with what Kamya Jaglan spoke about. I won't actually utilize all of the money to a business and end it up in a risky manner. But then, first of all, I think I would utilize in half of it in my further education, because it's not all about money. You need to learn, you need to adapt knowledge into yourself. That's what adapt your personality. So, and also I remember a quote which Benjamin Franklin said, that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. So, the real value of money is when you earn it. You feel the real value when you just earn it, not when your parents give you or not when a stranger gives you. So I think I would go with that opinion.
You're very right when you say this, that with money as well, you need experiential learning. You only understand the importance of money when you earn it, not when it is given to you. And that is why look at the data of all the lottery winners across the globe. Nearly 85 to 90% of the lottery winners in the world have gone broke within 3 years of winning that lottery amount. So you have to understand only getting the money would not solve all the problems. So let's tweak it to finally conclude this session, because we have had some amazing thoughts during this whole session. Let me give you a closing thought on this. Think in a way that if your school gave you skills worth $1 million, would you really want to skip school? The problem is, whatever you're learning at school, the worth of that is going down. The reason we ask this question is because of a World Economic Survey that recently told that the shelf life of a skill has gone down dramatically. When you get into a degree, when you get into a school, when you try to learn something, initially, when you had a graduation, it used to stay relevant for at least the next 5 to 10 years. With AI coming in, with technology coming in, the shelf life of knowledge has gone down, specifically talking for employability of skills. Knowledge will always stay with you because knowledge is wisdom, but skill set goes obsolete very quickly. So I think the question is really not where you want to skip your school and take the money. It's really, do you want your schools to skill you worth $1 million? Thank you so much, everyone. This was the Blub World Web Talks 250th episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed and if you want to attend the future sessions, open your audio, say a big yes, and thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this conversation.